all your favorite wrestling shows rolled into one. Welcome to the WeBook It Podcast. Let's start the show.
Yo, what's up, WeBook It fam? This is your boy Big Daddy C coming at you with another episode of the All Elite Recap Show, where we break down all of the action from this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. So this week, this was the last show that they had at the legendary 2300 Arena in Philadelphia. This is going to be a show that was going to be action-packed as we get closer to All Out, which I believe is the weekend after next. Opening up the show, we did have Bryan Danielson join commentary officially as a permanent member of the commentary team. So props to him. Can't wait to see him take this new venture within the wrestling company as he's basically semi-retired, if not fully retired. So our first matchup, we had Hangman Adam Page versus Josh Alexander. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not feeling the best today. It was a grudge match between Hangman Adam Page and Josh Alexander. Of course, there was some interference on the part of the Don Callis family, Lance Archer being the main culprit. And you have Rocky Romero and Don Callis at the end. Hangman still will catch Josh Alexander with the buckshot lariat to win the match. After that, Cal Fletcher would arrive to face down to basically come face to face with Hangman Adam Page. Hangman agreed to give Cal Fletcher basically a shot at his title at All Out, as long as Fletcher did it on his own and did not need the assistance of the Don Callis family, in which Cal Fletcher agreed to. He said he's going to be man-to-man. So we'll see how that match plays out. We know Cal Fletcher is the reigning TNT champion right now. And so I like these champion versus champion battles. It definitely adds a little bit of, a little bit more intensity and intrigue to the matchup. So we'll see how that plays out at All Out. Next up, we had let me see here. We had Mercedes Moné and Emi Sakura versus Alex Windsor and Riho. The team of Mercedes Moné and Emi Sakura, they try to work well together, but they both it looks like there are some jitters going on there. Eventually, Alex Windsor would catch Mercedes Moné in the ropes with a sharpshooter, while Riho made Sakura tap out to her own sharpshooter. So Alex Windsor and Riho will win their match. This was a solid match. Nothing to write home about, but it was good. It was kind of surprising to see, how Riho struggled to work with her former mentor. I'm sure they'll get that ironed out as time goes on. They'll be fine. Next up, we had pretty much a promo segment from Collision, MJF. It's kind of like a little funny segment, little promo backstage or in the parking lot. MJF, he agreed to meet Mark Briscoe on next week's Collision to set the terms for their all-out clash. MJF basically was saying that, he recently got married. And then his wife was like, hey, what about the honeymoon? And he was like, hey, ain't no honeymoon happening until Mark Briscoe is dead. And so, and basically he was joking, saying his wife was like, if you go out that door, we're done. And he's like, look here, you silly little bitch. We've been done. I'm like, oh shit. He's like, I'm married to the game. I'm like, shit, that is bad. I'm like, obviously he is all for show, but I'm like, damn, this man ain't playing no games, right? So yeah, shout out to MJF. This feud with him and Mark Briscoe has been one of the best things on AEW so far. So hopefully we get a little bit more at All Out. We'll see what kind of match they will have, but I know it's going to be something extreme. Next up, we had a segment where FTR was threatening audience members, and attacking camera crew. So after a hype video, Stokely Hathaway will question why anyone thought FTR versus Christian Cage and Edge will be a dream match instead of a demolition by the better team, in which he thinks FTR is the better team. Dax tried to talk, but the crowd was too loud for him to speak. They were booing. Him and Cash got in the face of multiple fans and then knocked down the cameraman, basically brawling with the entire camera crew that was out there at the time. And so this kind of like, basically kind of like a callback to the old ECW chaos that used to take place in that building, man. So they it was pretty cool to see. But yeah, I'm ready for this tag match between FTR and Christian Cage and Edge at All Out. This is gonna be crazy to see. So next up we had a let me see here. We had Shelton Benjamin versus Ricochet. Shelton Benjamin was pretty much trying to get his revenge on Ricochet after he got attacked. Ricochet basically was saying, he basically promised a fair match, which we all know. There's nothing's ever fair in professional wrestling when it comes to people that have their own respective allies. There will be some interferences going on, so Bishop Khan would distract the referee while Toa Leona would headbutt Shelton Benjamin to set up a win for Ricochet, who will basically win with a roll-up pin for the 3 count. After this, a brawl would break out, including MVP and Bobby Lashley, until the officials would get involved and break everything up, pull everyone apart. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin delivered in a big way, but this is hardly a surprise. No, Ricochet. I don't know why I was saying Bobby Lashley, but Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin, they had a hell of a match. We know these two are good, high-flying guys, good technical wrestlers as well. And so, the fact that they had some good chemistry in the ring was no surprise to me. And so, I like this. I like this new little rivalry going on between the Hurt Syndicate and Ricochet and the GOA. I think this could be something that can go on over the next month or so. GOA probably going at the Hurt Syndicate, and maybe one of these two teams could challenge for the tag team championships down the line. So we'll see how that plays out. Next up, let me see here. Next up, we had the Philly Street Fight. Yeah, you had to have some type of extreme match on this show, especially for it to be the last one of their little residency in that building. So a Philly Street Fight between timeless Toni Storm and Skye Blue. This match is crazy. There was wild throughout. You had tables with mouse traps on it. You had cheese. You had staples and street signs. But a lot of extreme moments. I remember seeing a highlight. Toni Storm, she got stapled in the titty. She got stapled in the ass cheek by Skye Blue. Like it was some crazy shit going on, man. But eventually, Toni took out Skye Blue with a hip attack through the wood sign, followed by a Storm Zero for the 3 count. After that, the Triangle of Madness would arrive to attack Toni Storm. While Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter tried to make the save, Tekla was the last woman standing, basically draping herself over the champion after a spear. I think this was a great tribute to ECW. They did a lot of tributes during their residency at the 2300 Arena, but I think this was one of the best, if not the best, tribute they could have had. And I love that the women, like ever since AEW started, I believe that the women has had some of the best hardcore matches or extreme like rules type matches, since the company came about. These women, man, they doing shit that WWE is not doing with their women. They try. WWE has their moments, especially on NXT. They have their moments where like they doing some hardcore shit that make you be like, oh my God, holy shit. But it's not consistent. I think on AEW you get more extreme action, which is cool to me. That means they're not scared. They're not scared to get down and dirty. So I love to see that. And the crowd was into it as well, so that made it even better. We do have a fatal four-way for the AEW Women's Championship coming up. So you got let me see here. Toni Storm. Let me see. Tekla. Let me look this up. Actually, why am I using my phone? I got a whole ass. Let's see. All right, yeah. So Toni Storm, Statlander, Chris Statlander, Jamie Hayter, and Tekla at All Out. So that'll be the fatal four-way match. So yeah, that's gonna be exciting to see. Definitely. There was another backstage segment where Renee tried to interview Willow Nightingale. Oh, my baby. But Harley Cameron would interrupt to sing, basically sing Cat in Your Face in the hopes of convincing Willow to team with her and Chris Statlander. Next up, we had a 500K 10-man tag team match. We had the Opps and Brodido versus Death Riders and the Young Bucks. We know the Opps are the trio champions and Brodido are the tag team champions. This was a wild match, but also that culminated in Matt and Nick Jackson countering the 21 Plex together, which set up a stack-up pin by Matt with Nick holding his feet on the ropes for the cheap win. These dudes, they love to cheat, man, which is weird considering the fact that they are capable enough to win these matches without having to cheat. Obviously we know what they've done since being in AEW. So, I just felt like, they ain't got to win with the ropes, with the feet on the ropes. They ain't got to do that. Come on now. They don't have to do that. But it is what it is, EVPs, even though not officially, not on television, on screen anymore, but still, back in real life, they're still EVPs. So, they get to do what the hell they want. No worries. Even though Tony Khan is still technically the boss, but he listens to them. He whatever they say, it's like Tony Khan is like, yeah, do whatever you guys want. So, but yeah, I'm not mad about it. It's just annoying to see from time to time. Like, y'all ain't gotta cheat, but y'all are heels. So, heels, they like to cheat. So, it is what it is. But I digress. Sorry for that little going on there, a little tangent. But no, the Young Bucks did, even though they got the win, them and the Death Riders got the win. They failed to run out with their money, the money bag, before Brody King and Bandito will brawl with them to the back. The Death Riders would attack the Opps until Darby Allin would arrive to make the save. Then the shocking turn of events, Daniel Garcia would attack Darby Allin, and he would stomp Darby Allin's head into a steel chair with help from Jon Moxley and Marina Shafir. So man, what in the world has gotten into Daniel Garcia? We do not know. We will find out possibly at Collision or next week on AEW Dynamite. So that was the main event here. Let's see here. Yeah, that was the main event. It's a lot. The action is picking up. The storylines are getting more solidified as we get towards All Out. It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view, I believe. Hopefully, it can be on par with what we got at All In. And so we'll see how things play out. Suggest you all watch that and show some support. If you don't want to watch it, I'll watch it over WrestlePalooza or what I like to call the Temu WrestleMania. So I'm sure a lot more people will be watching AEW All Out more so than WrestlePalooza. So, and I do not blame y'all one bit. I might be watching it myself, albeit on illegal streams, but it's all good. I will be watching. But yeah, this has been this week's episode of the All Elite Recap Show. Big Daddy C signing out. Peace. Keep those booking pencils sharp and keep on booking. Catch y'all later.